As we say goodbye to the year of the pig, it's time to welcome in the year of the rat. Ranking #1 among the 12 signs of the Chinese zodiac, the rat represents qualities of quick wit and energy. So I'd like to welcome and wish our audience at home a happy Chinese New Year and good health and vitality in the year of the rat. As one of the oldest celebrations in the world, Spring Festival and its traditions have evolved over thousands of years, but the festival remains the most important date in the calendar for Chinese people. As Chinese families around the world are gathering to enjoy a reunion with their families, we are also here in the headquarters of CGTN here in Beijing, together with our guests, to make a traditional Chinese dish, dumplings, or Jiaozi, which are possibly the most popular food in Chinese culture. As we prepare and cook this traditional Chinese food, we'll also talk about family, local traditions, and how Chinese New Year is going global. So welcome to this special edition of The Point for Spring Festival. I'm Lu Xin. I'm pleased to welcome my guests in Jin Yuchen, a musician and CEO of Eureka International, and Managing Director of Shanghai Overseas Education Exchange Center. Qiuyuan, CGTN host, my dear colleague who sit in on The Point very often, and Johan Stjernhol, an artistic director from Sweden. Welcome to The Point and Happy Chinese New Year.
Glad to be here.
Thank you. Happy Chinese New Year.
Thank you, thank you. Well, it's a very special occasion, as our audience can see, and I'm very excited. We're in CGTN's office, but we are going to cook, or rather prepare the Chinese jiaozi. So just to give people some idea, right, exactly what jiaozis are. These are Chinese dumplings, or jiaozi, that we're talking about. So some fillings wrapped in flour. Right, and it's a very long tradition, very popular food, right, among the Chinese. Qiuyuan, I'm sure you must be eating a lot of these when you were growing up as well.
I do. I'd say this is the most important dish, the quintessential dish of Chinese New Year. I mean, my family have it on Lunar New Year's Eve. Every family member is involved in making this. Each person is in charge of one of the process. I think it's fun. It's a group activity. It's a good chance for family members to get together, plenty times for chatters, for laughter. I love it.
Yeah. Yuchen, you were born in Beijing, but you went to the United States when you were a teenager. How important that jiaozi for you?
Jiaozi, I mean, the dumplings are very important. I remember every single year my family would prepare the dumplings, and my father is from the Shanxi province, right? So when I go to my father's side, you know, to celebrate the New Year in Qiuyuan, they would have dumplings all day long. They would have it for the New Year's Eve dinner and the next day and the day after. Yeah, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's like you know, 3 meals a day. You know, we would have dumplings. Yeah. So it's amazing.
Yeah, and different kinds of filling as well.
Yeah.
In Sweden, Johan, how do you have similar things? I know in some European countries they have similar things.
Right. So coming from a small village in Sweden, dumplings and Chinese New Year are things that have been introduced to me at a later part in my life. But it has been very fascinating to learn to know about it. Okay. And for instance, last year I was in London, but I was invited to my Chinese friends there for a New Year party. And that was actually my first time ever to try to produce a dumpling myself. We had some amazing Chinese women there who were fantastic in making dumplings. They tried to teach me. I would not say I succeeded, but it was a fascinating part to be part of that tradition and process.
Okay, so today, shall we try once again?
Let's do it.
Yeah? Okay, so it's, for some people, it's supposed to be something difficult, but, you know, it's actually quite simple. So normally you would prepare these skins, you know, or whatever you, or wrap, right. So these are pre-cooked ones. But what we are going to do is we're going to make these skin ourselves. And I have prepared some dough this morning, so now it should be pretty good. Normally you let it sit a little bit. So I'm not going to show off my cooking skill the very first time on the history.
Looks like a good texture.
Okay, so a little bit of flour, and you know, my dream is always to do a cooking show.
You should totally do it.
Here we are. So I just find it very fascinating, and then I'm going to stretch and cut, and you'll see. It's showing off my stuff. So what I do is,
Oh, wow.
yeah, but you know, everybody has their way of doing jiaozi.
Right.
I guess.
So
yeah.
this is, so what I do is I would turn it into a ring, and I'll just work on it along the way. After so many ceremony, I'm just going to break it.
Oh dear.
Just going to break it, and then and then you kind of roll it on the table a little bit, and then what you do is, you know, now there are people who would just, you know, use their hand to break it up into smaller pieces, and they're very good because every piece needs to be, you know, similar in about the same amount. But what I will do is normally I would just, you know, use a knife and cut. So I would, yeah, and I will turn as I cut, so they will look a little bit more interesting than just flat ones. You want to try a little bit?
Let me. Yes, absolutely.
So let these go a little bit.
So it has to be kind of the same size.
Kind of.
Right?
Yeah, don't cut fingers.
I'll do my best to try.
Yeah, it's very easy, you see?
Let's do this. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, this is much easier than cutting, you know, tofu or something.
And this is probably the most easy step in making dumplings. wait till later.
So this is the beginner's level.
Yes.
Okay,
You know what? Let's. These are yours. These are yours, and these are yours. Okay. So now we put some flour. We put some.
Strange one.
Doesn't matter. We'll work on it.
Okay.
So we put some.
Okay.
We'll put some flour, lots of them. Yeah, lots of flour. All right. Make sure that it's all covered in flour. So now you have a task of pressing them into little doughs, you know, little flat ones. So you can just go ahead and do it like this. Yes, and now comes this part where you use a stick. Make sure you flour it as well, so that doesn't. And then you would roll on these things, and you roll, spread them. And now comes the floury part, where you make the skin thin on the
look at that.
thin on the sides and slightly thicker in the middle.
In the middle? Okay.
Ah,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Seems
So
like a deep secret here.
That's art. That's what we call art.
However you do it, just make sure that, you know, it's, you can use it later. It doesn't matter how you do it.
I'll just do this.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
We can
Yuan?
reproduce it. So I'll start by making it generally a bit larger, right?
Yeah.
And then we work on the edges separately.
Very good. Not bad, not bad.
Maybe a little bigger.
Yeah, so that's the idea. That's the idea. And there are all kinds of ways of doing it. But some people here in China, they're so good that they can do several pieces at the same time, you know?
Seriously?
So now what I will do is I will just, you know, turn
Wow.
as I roll them.
Look at that.
Yeah, so, okay, so when you have a lot of flour, you can basically just do all of these together, you know? Wow, making a big mess.
Wow. That's good.
But that's the idea, you see?
Mass production.
So mass production, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Wow.
All right, so when we are kind of done with the skin, the next step is to wrap the fillings in there. And there are, again, I don't know how many different kinds, right? You can think of, there are the vegetarian ones, the meaty ones. You can put pork or beef or lamb or... Okay, well, today we have just a bit of sample of beef with leek and...
the veggie filling.
Yeah, this veggie filling, well, it's very classic. It's egg with chives.
Yes.
It has a very strong smell. So I suggest if people are going to go on a date or a job interview, don't try these before for
I've done
lunch.
it before. Got a piece of lettuce stuck in my teeth.
And make sure that you look into the mirror after you eat these. Yeah. So we're just going to try how to wrap these things.
Potentially disastrous.
Potentially disastrous. All right. So what you do, again, very simple. You pick up a piece of skin, and then you put the filling in there. Put as much as you want, so long as you can close it. Okay? So go ahead and try.
Yeah, okay, I'll go first then.
Okay, I'm
3
trying.
spoons, actually.
Yeah,
Which one's
okay.
better?
Yeah. Go ahead.
A little bit more work on the wrapper.
Doesn't matter, more or less, you know, so long as you
I think
can
I'll
close
start
it.
a bit modest
Actually, I
here.
can close
Okay.
the deal.
It tastes better when the filling is more.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
give it a little boost
Is it
here.
going to
Yes.
be hard to seal if you put too much filling, right? That's my concern.
Okay, then what you do is, again, there are 1,000 ways. What I do is I first put it together like that in the middle and press hard, really, and then I do it like this. I'll make little folds on the sides
That's the
here
hardest part.
and little folds on the sides here.
All right.
So in the end, it becomes something that, this doesn't look very nice.
Pretty.
So pretty.
Yeah.
So
there was something special about the first fold.
yeah, the first fold is kind of just to, yeah, and then make
then I
small
fold
folds
it.
on the
Give it a
sides.
couple
Okay,
pleats.
okay.
Yeah.
I
I see that I stretched
Oh
the
my
ability of
goodness.
this filling a little bit.
Broke.
But
with
you know,
the knife.
guys, this is dough we're working on. So you can stretch the wrapper if it is too, if it is,
I've
you
got one.
know. Yeah.
I got one.
Yeah.
There, and then I
Going.
fold it.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
good.
working.
Looking good.
Not really.
It's a folding that is the difficult part.
Yeah,
I
it's
find.
working. It's working.
I can't fold a lot. I cheat here. I just close it.
Yeah. Very good. Very
Perfect.
good. Very good. Just put it there. Yeah. Very good.
Oh, God. That doesn't look like
And that's
dumplings.
Yuchen's.
Yeah.
Yuchen's also very,
That's
very
pretty,
nice.
yeah.
Really nice
That's a really nice one,
Very
yeah.
I can see you have been watching a lot.
I've been watching some videos, obviously, but I've never tried it, actually.
Yeah. Very nice.
Thank you.
Well, one thing, what the parents always say, and I'm going to be old-fashioned here, close it properly, lest it
properly.
becomes a soup. You know,
You
that's
don't
what
want
they
it, you don't want it to
close
burst.
it properly. So that's like the biggest worry.
Really, I better reclose my
Yeah, close it properly.
potential soup maker
Close
here.
the deal.
But you know, everything works. Everything works. It's the fun. It's the time together that counts.
The soup is nice as well, isn't
The
it?
soup is also nice. All the nutrition is in there. Oh, wow. So I see you guys are kind of into it.
This is fun.
This is fun.
This is fun. You don't
But if
mistake
it
too
really
much.
doesn't work, ta-da, here's something that's
Now we're getting into the
Yeah, now we're
proper way,
talking.
right?
the proper way of
Now we're
making
talking.
jiaozi. So this is the secret weapon for jiaozi lovers who don't know how to make them. You know, what you do is you put a piece of skin on this thing, okay, this side, and then you put a bit of a filling in.
Wow.
Okay, you put a bit of filling, and then again, close up, please. So this is what I have now with the Chinese invention, and you zip it up, and you press. But it's working, but it's not so nice, but it kind of works.
You're gonna turn it into a soup.
I think it's going to turn into a soup because here it's kind of open.
Yeah.
But it creates a
But it's
very
pretty
nice
good. Yeah, it looks
The plate looks
patterned.
pretty.
Pattern
Yeah.
creates a very nice
Yeah.
pattern.
Always fix it later.
No, I have to. Doesn't this look much better than my last one?
It looks much
Oh,
better.
wow.
I
looks-
think I'm
Yeah.
You deserve some.
got a little bit of that.
Yes, Johan.
And sometimes people would put a piece, a coin. Wait, Johan.
Ah,
Let me put a
really?
coin
Yes.
in this thing, and then wrap it up, and then mix it with all the jiaozi that you make.
And what's the purpose of this coin then?
Not to break the guest's teeth, but
Okay, it could be a bit of.
but whoever gets that jiaozi will be the lucky one.
Wow.
Yeah, so
All
that's
right.
that's kind
That
of
makes
the.
sense. Yeah.
Good
But at least-
fortunes in the new year, good luck, all that, wealth.
But at
Yeah.
least, of course, you have to be really careful when you eat jiaozi.
I would say yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
Right, and,
recommend it. So this is the dish that the Chinese families, many Chinese families will be eating. Oh, you're getting better and
Don't
better.
look here. I'm gonna put it in a random place and nobody knows where the coin
I can.
thing is.
Be careful of your teeth.
We can
Well,
tell
so
which
that's-
ones are yours.
I'll be that bad.
Yeah, you are doing a very good job. Yeah. Well, that's the process of making jiaozi. Yeah,
Fantastic.
fantastic.
Super interesting.
Super interesting. Let's try some after this short break when we come back. Okay,
Yeah,
don't go away.
Yay.
So the jiaozis are done, and let's taste them, shall we?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Miraculous.
Jiaozi, as they say.
Yeah, so there are different fillings. I would say the ones that look greenish, probably more veggie inside, and the one that looks more pinkish or orangish with meat inside. So pick your choice, and always remember there is one with a coin in there.
That's right. That's right.
Lucky coin.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Just, just take. So here a little bit of Chinese vinegar, where we dip the jiaozi in, so to add a little bit of flavor. Whoever wants to have a little bit of spice, can you all live with it a little bit?
That's fine.
Yeah, totally.
A little bit?
Yep.
Not too much. Okay, here you go. So please.
All right, let's get to it.
I'll go for this one.
Yeah. For the
Nobody
meaty
warned
one,
me
the
about
meaty
the
one.
fact that I have to use chopsticks today.
Well, you seem to be doing fine.
I have been practicing.
You look very
as,
professional in that. Okay, so that seems like a meaty one.
All right. Wow.
So good.
Okay, a
So
practical
So you
dish,
know
right?
why people love eating jiaozi on this day so much on Lunar New Year's Eve? It's all about symbolism, right? Every food we eat, everything we do during the Lunar
That's
New
right,
Year,
that's
it's
why I
all
thought
about
that what you
symbolism.
said was
Yeah.
part of that symbolic.
Yeah, because
I was
the shape
joking.
of
I was joking.
the shape of jiaozi looks like gold ingots, ancient
Right.
Chinese money. 金元宝, 金币. So eating jiaozi represents good fortune or wealth in the coming year.
Right.
Brilliant. Let's have another one, shall we?
We should, yes.
Yeah. What I heard is this was a dish that was invented by a doctor, a traditional Chinese doctor, many, many years ago. And there were many people who were suffering from winter frost.
Frostbites.
Frostbites, exactly. So people didn't know what to do. So he said, okay, let's do these dishes where we put lamb, because lamb is supposed to give you heat.
Got it.
Okay, but put it in these flour and then boil it together so that the whole village, you know, men, women, elderly, would come and share the... In the beginning, it was called jiao'er, which means 耳朵, you know, ear, because people have a lot of tend to have frostbite on their ear, so they would drink the jiaozi and it would cure their frostbite. That's the story I hear. Yeah.
Well, it does look like a year, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
it does look
shape of a
Looks
year.
like a year, yes.
角耳嘛, 所以角耳, 角耳, that's
Wow.
one of the legends of the origins of
Also,
jiaozi.
the pronunciation of jiaozi sounded like the turning point between the old year and the new year. Jiao, jiao. So,
Yeah, jiaozi.
Transition.
Right? Jiaozi
Yeah.
transitioning.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
And another fascinating thing is that partly this medical sort of background of the history, but also when everybody came together, it created that social interaction in the village,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is also wonderful.
Yeah, maybe that itself heals the the disease
Yeah,
or whatever.
surely,
Yeah. What about in Sweden? Do you have similar things?
Well,
Symbolism.
actually, we have one course that is sometimes referred to as Swedish dumplings. It has a funny name. It's called kroppskaka or kroppkaka, which
Okay.
translated to English means body cake.
Body cake.
It is the same idea with the filling inside and then surrounded by a dough-like substance, a wrapper. But the wrapper is much thicker and they become much bigger. They become as big as a human fist.
Wow.
So they can be quite large. And the wrapper is made of a mixture of potato and flour. So, but sometimes it's called the Swedish dumpling.
Okay. Do you eat it on a special occasion or any symbolism?
Well, it's usually it's a very old traditional core. So I'm sorry to say, young people today they don't eat it much. It's also not as tasty as the Chinese dumplings. I'm also.
Thank you. Well, go ahead and try another one if you guys want. We haven't.
I think a lot of countries do have similar dishes, like ravioli.
Exactly.
I think that look like the same. And Polish dumplings. I think it's called pierogies. Is it Polish dumplings? Look,
Very similar.
yeah, very similar.
In Austria, they have the knuden, which is very similar. They call dumpling, which looks like a big ball. You know, and when somebody tell me it's the dumpling, I was like, it doesn't look like dumpling.
That's right. I think the Swedish version you wouldn't recognize either.
No,
it's much bigger and round usually.
What about the year of the rat? I mean, how do you feel about entering in the year of the rat? Do you have any special feeling about that?
My mom's zodiac animal is actually the year of the rat, and when this is your zodiac animal year, you're supposed to wear something red. So I'm wishing her the best luck. I'm hoping that this is going to be my New Year resolution. I'm hoping to be able to run a half marathon in the new year. Yes.
Oh, wow.
And and last year was not a good year for me. I broke my foot for the first time in my life, for God's sake. Yeah, so I seriously need some good luck for this year. So I'm hoping I'm off to a good start.
Well, we better hope the coin is in that dumpling you have there.
Oh, wow. Yes,
Yes, I have an interesting experience as well about the year of the rat. It turned out my mother too is a rat.
Really?
And of course in Sweden our idea of what a rat means symbolically is very different to what it means here in China. To put it mildly, it's not as positive as the Chinese concept of the rat. So when my mother first was told that she was a rat, or born in the year of rat, she was shocked. It took us a long time to eventually explain to her that it's a good thing, it's a compliment. So I think she has now embraced that and is happy for that, but it was a bit of a cultural shock to start with.
Yeah, people born in the year of the rat are said to be energetic, positive,
and she
likable.
Absolutely.
Very smart.
I have hamsters, you know, I had to confess. I have hamsters as pets, so I love, you know, hamsters, and they're also rodents, and they're very cute.
So it's similar to rat.
Kind of similar in a way. I mean, like, rodents are very, I mean, they're probably the most populous, you know, mammals on Earth, right? I mean, rats are also rodents.
Yeah.
It's interesting that the Chinese would like to associate the birth of our year to a particular animal, so that we kind of unconsciously identify ourselves with that animal almost, right? If you're born in the year of the rabbit, then you feel like, oh, I'm very docile and very easy to go. If you're born in the year of the ox, it's like, yes, I'm very stubborn, just like an ox, very powerful, you know? So it almost comes to define your personality a little bit.
That's very interesting, because there is, of course, also the idea that you have that idea, you have the personality because you're born in that year, but it also, like you say, works the other way around. You shape your personality as well.
Yeah, as well.
It's kind of a tradition, and other traditions about New Year I like is these superstitious things, that the do's and don'ts during the New Year. I don't know if you guys have heard it. Some weird ones include do not wash your hair during spring festivals.
Really?
Because fa, the hair, also sounded like fa, fortune. So if you wash your hair, you're going to watch your fortune down the drain.
Right.
Another thing...
Well, don't worry about that.
Or don't cut your hair.
Go and do whatever
and
you
also, don't read books during the New Year, because book shu sounded like lose, shu.
Oh,
So,
again.
yeah. I guess it's just an excuse for, you know,
or
kids
don't cut your hair, or
Don't cut your hair.
or your uncle will be in trouble, right?
Yeah, and don't do cleanings because you'll be
why-
sweeping the good luck away.
But the power of these thinking, although you think it is ridiculous, but the power of these thinking is so popular, so strong, because almost every barber shop for the first month of the new year, they have no business
Yeah.
because nobody will go and cut their hair for fear that their uncle would have trouble. You know, this is ridiculous, but people believe in that. So it's the power of tradition, really,
It's
really.
fascinating how deeply rooted. In spite of today, most of us think we are so rational and scientific. We still adhere to these.
We still adhere to these
These
very
traditions are still very alive today.
So these are some of the envelopes that red envelopes that where people would put money in there. This is no empty.
Thank
you. What you can do is you can put some money in it, and if you see a child of a relative or a Chinese, you know, a friend's child, you can put some money, and this is like a lucky envelope. A lucky money thing, you know. But the thing is, now nobody literally use these physical ones. They use the digital ones.
Yes.
You know, use WeChat. You send a digital WeChat, and
and it said if you get money in the red envelope, you better to spend it on food because it's always going to be a part of you, or until the next time you go to bathroom, at least. Keep the good luck in you. Keep the good luck in you.
Brilliant. As long as
possible.
Okay.
I guess it will be a favorite for children as well.
Children love it, but nowadays people are joking about it, you know, with all of these fintech, you know, WeChat. So next time when you see a child, how can the child kind of imply that you should give a red envelope? They should wear a barcode in front of them.
Oh yeah, scan me.
Contemporary living.
Contemporary living. All right, so we're going to continue to try some jiaozi. Yuchen, you are a musician, so for the Chinese New Year, no New Year will be complete without some traditional music. Do you have something for us today?
Yeah, absolutely. I've written a small piece. It's like a song, but you know, I've written like a small piece called Shu Lai Bao, which actually translates into you know, rat, come, fortune. But then you know, it's also the name of the Chinese clappers, Shu Lai Bao. So I can definitely demonstrate that, and then if you guys feel free to sing along. You know, it's a very simple line, and yeah, I think it's fun.
Great,
and,
great.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. We're going to continue
Sure.
eat some jiaozi while you do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
So, do you want to try?
数来宝，数来宝，新的一年就要来到，我祝你新的一年福星高照。数来宝，数来宝，新的一年就要来到，我祝你新的一年福星高照。数来宝，数来宝，新的一年就要来到，我祝你新的一年福星高照。数来宝，数来宝，新的一年就要来到，我祝你新的一年福星高照。数来宝，数来宝，新的一年就要来到，我祝你新的一年福星高照。数来宝，数来宝，新的一年就要来到，我祝你新的一年福星高照。数来宝，数来宝，新的一年就要来到，我祝你新的一年福星高照。
Oh, thank you. That was so wonderful. It was a very special New Year we celebrated together.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming to the show. Thank you.
Thank you
and
for
all the
having
very
us.
best for the Year of the Rat.
Yeah, happy Chinese New Year.
Happy Chinese New Year and all the very best for everybody in the year 2020. Do stay with us on CGTN and do join us on The Point with me, Li Xin. Thank you so much for having been with us, and I look forward to a good, prosperous and peaceful year with you in the year 2020. Okay.